Hey folks, I'm Pruitt, and I'm about to have a nice sit-down discussion with Jennifer Quinn. Yeah, Jennifer Quinn of youbeing.social.com. Check it out. Hey everybody, what's going on? Pruitt here. Hope you're doing well. I'm hanging in there. It's another day in the beautiful palace of Pruitt's here in North Kakalaki. And I'm hanging out today with my good friend, Miss Jennifer Quinn. Who is Miss Jennifer Quinn? She is Miss youbeing.social.com. Hey Jennifer, how you doing?
Hey, I'm doing well. How are you?
I am unbelievable. I'm glad I was able to set this up and sit down with you because I've been wanting to talk to you for a very long time about the world of social media because I have no clue about it. And I've been following you on Twitter for, a couple of years now. We've become some pretty good friends because of Twitter. And I can just see that you clearly know what you're doing when it comes to the world of social media. And so I said, let me see if she can, sit down with me and let me pick her brain and school me a little bit on this social media. But for those that don't know, Miss Jennifer Quinn, she's on Twitter as @JennyQ, and she's a host of the Daily Q show over on Blab. That's blab.im/JennyQ. So first off, tell me a little bit about the Daily Q show.
Okay, so it's a new show. The first episode was in August of 2015, and the idea just came to me the moment I hopped on Blab. I was just like, wow, I could interview people and this would be super cool. I've always been fascinated at what makes people tick. Mm-hmm. To the point where I kind of drive people crazy because I'm always asking questions, right? And in fact, it kind of goes even further back than that. The whole reason I even got involved in social media is because of that fascination. So when I first logged onto Twitter, I think it was in 2007, maybe 2008. Mm-hmm. And the reason I logged onto Twitter was because I was watching CNN and Rick Sanchez was on, and he said, what do you think about this? Tweet me at Rick Sanchez CNN. I was like, what? Tweet me? What? Tweet me. So I opened my laptop. I, set up a Twitter account haphazardly. Jen wasn't there. Jennifer wasn't there. My husband called me Jenny Q. I'm like, well, that's good enough. So I put that in, never knowing that would now be, forever after now Jenny Q. But, and I couldn't get off of Twitter because I was so fascinated at the whole psychology behind it and the fun and the interaction and the social aspect and the, just everything about it. And people were connecting and doing business and building relationships. And you were one of them. You and I started with a college football league thing that I've never won, and you have, but that's neither here nor there. And so it was that same fascination. Once I hopped on Blab, I'm like, whoa, we just bumped it up a notch. Now I can have a show and I can interview people and I can find out what makes them tick. And so I interview people who demonstrate excellence in their field. Okay. And it can be in any arena whatsoever. It can be business. It can be health. It can be wealth. It can be entertainment. It can be, authors of books, anything, but what my commitment to my viewers is that whoever I bring on the show, they are experts at what it is we're talking about. Okay. And we just go there, and I think I kind of take a little bit of a different approach with it because I want to know what makes them tick. Yes, we talk about the steps to success, yep. And the practical parts of their success, but I also want to know that moment where something clicked, that they were propelled to excel. So
sweet.
That's that. Yeah.
Well, first of all, you said Blab, and I said Blab earlier.
Right.
What is Blab? I mean, some people have heard of it, but there's folks like me that have heard of it, and I still don't quite know what Blab is. I see it as a website that has a bunch of live streaming going on, which that could be confused with, say, Twitch. They have live streams of games and things like that. What exactly is Blab as a platform?
That's a great question. Blab is in beta. And so as with all things in beta, it's evolving. But currently what it is it's kind of a cross between video conferencing and live streaming. So it has elements of both, but it's not really either. So it's kind of like Google Hangouts. Um, there are differences. For example, you can have only 4 people on screen at once, up to 4. You can have 1 to 4. There's live interaction with comments. You can share it out through Twitter and Facebook. And it's really just a place for people to have conversations. That was the intention behind it. But it's evolving, just like anything. It's evolving.
Right. I heard about it through Periscope. I was watching you on Periscope.
Yeah.
And you mentioned it, and I said, well, I'll check this out one of these days. And it took me a little while to hop on over and see what it's all about. But once I got there, I saw that, man, people are flooding to this platform.
Yeah.
And let me go ahead and say this. I apologize for any of my ignorance offending people, but I am totally ignorant when it comes to that platform and a few other platforms, just to be honest with you, such as like looking at Google Plus. This is a platform we're on right now, and I found that it works for me. Is it the most popular platform? Not by a long shot, not at all.
Right.
But what are your thoughts on what Google Plus was trying to do? Because it started out like a competitor to Facebook. At least that's what they said. Right. And you and I both knew that probably wasn't going to happen. But what are your thoughts on platforms like Google Plus that goes through this whole evolution and trying to figure out what they are? Because they've changed a lot over the last couple of years. Right. And when you look at it now, it's totally different from what it looked like just 3 months ago. What are your thoughts?
Yeah. So Google Plus has some growing pains for sure. And it's kind of clunky. It's not super user friendly. But like you, some people just, log on and it resonates and they love it and they get heavily involved with communities and, it's their place. And, when you said you apologize for your ignorance on Blab, there's no way that any one person can know everything about every platform. And I kind of saw this coming like 5 years ago. We had, there were just a few platforms. So one person could kind of be an expert in all of them. But then as soon as they all started growing and getting bigger, I'm like, okay, now we're going to be segmenting into there's an expert per platform.
Okay.
Because there's no way, because it changes so fast, right? If you stay off a platform for a month and you come back on, it's like, whoa, there's so many changes. It doesn't matter which one it is.
Right.
Anyway, so one thing that Google Plus has like head and shoulders above everybody else, obviously, is optimization for search rankings, right? Okay. So it's invaluable when it comes to use for businesses, especially local businesses, but really all businesses. If a business hasn't claimed their Google Plus page, then they're way behind the power curve. And and I live in Idaho, so I only know stats for Idaho, but I know in Idaho only 30% of local businesses have claimed their Google Plus page.
Only 30%. Jeez. Is that because of the whole, most people nowadays think a web page is Facebook?
Maybe. And I think it's just, just ignorance. It's like they don't know that they need to go in and claim it and fill it out and have details and have customers go in and give reviews. Like you can't not do that anymore if you want to show up on page 1. And even that's not going to guarantee it.
Right. It's a whole lot of different variables when it comes to that whole search engine optimization and stuff. Mm-hmm. I'm slowly trying to learn that and about ready to give up on it. It's so
I know. It's so hard. There's so much. That's why people hire people to do it for them.
Yeah. And hire people like you, right?
Yep.
Now, as far as all of the social media platforms, you have Facebook, you have Twitter, you have Google Plus, you have... heck, I think Pinterest is considered a social media platform. Yep. Like, what is the Jennifer Quinn top 3?
There's no top 3 that's across the board because it depends on the business, it depends on the strategies, it depends on the goals. It depends on where your audience is. Like, there is no top 3 across the board. Yeah.
Right.
But if you want to give me a hypothetical, we can go there.
What is if you were going to go and hop on your mobile phone or your tablet and you're going to check a social network, what's the
For
first one
me,
you're checking?
for me, for fun. Okay, for
For
me.
you, for
So,
fun.
okay, it's either Twitter or Snapchat at the moment.
Snapchat.
Yeah.
I forget about Snapchat. That's another one that I don't quite get.
No.
I see the little use of it from my teenager. Um, I followed him for a little while and then I just gave up on it.
Right.
But I get the idea of having these little quick messages and it just totally disappears forever kind of thing. I sort of
Right.
get that, but I just never latched onto it. Is it known for high engagement or anything like that?
Yeah, it's so weird. It honestly is. And it just is so weird. And I don't even fully understand it. And but I do know that it's fun and it does take a while to get the hang of. And it is not, if you think Google Plus is clunky, Snapchat has it beat hands down. But there are stories and people put together stories and it's pretty entertaining, and these are people that you get to know and and then so I mean businesses are even using it, brands are using it.
Yeah, I see a lot of little
Yeah,
brands in that
yeah,
one window that I go to.
yeah.
And I
So
just didn't, I've never looked at any of their stories. I probably should just to see how they're using it too, because I
yeah,
see people like CNN and other big media companies
yeah,
and they're using it.
yeah.
When my brain is thinking it's just going to be a bunch of teenagers or,
No, no.
or
Yeah, so
college.
I'd say my top three: Twitter, Snapchat, and I hate actually even admitting that, but it's just true. And Facebook of course, but then Periscope. So those would
Mhm.
probably be mine. That's four. Sorry.
That's all right. Well, all right. So pivoting off of that,
Yeah.
I have my own thoughts on social media. It's been umpteen years now since I joined up the Twitter and able to meet people like you. And it seems like ever since Twitter and other social networks started popping up, it stopped being social, if you will.
Mm,
It started becoming more like a marketing
yeah.
platform and solely a marketing platform. And I feel bad because sometimes I think I may fall into that same rut because I'm a content creator and I like to promote myself. And I know that that's a channel available to me other than getting an ad printed in a newspaper that nobody reads. You know what I'm saying? So
I totally do.
so I have my moments where I'm thinking, hey, I have to use these platforms to promote myself. But at the same time, I fight an internal battle of saying, you're not really interactive with anybody. It's
Right.
called social media for a
Right.
reason.
Right.
What are your thoughts on just where social media was 10 years ago versus now?
Yeah, 10 years ago it was MySpace, right?
Yep. All right. And everybody jumped on MySpace and talked
Right.
about
I
what
don't even
picture
remember.
you
Right.
showed, what song you played, and
Yeah,
things
yeah,
like
yeah.
that.
Oh, and remember the animated GIFs with the
Yeah.
sparkles and decorating your page and all that.
Decorating your page. You had to pimp, what was it, pimp my page and stuff
Yes,
like that
yes,
was
yes,
out
yes, yes,
there.
yes, yes. Anyway, so yeah, I think for sure it has gone more towards marketing, but you don't have to do that. And one rule of thumb for businesses especially, but for anybody, if you can do the 80-20 rule, 80% of the time talk about other people, engage with other people, promote other people, share other people's things, and then 20% promote yourself. So if you're on Twitter and you're doing 10 tweets a day, which is not too much on Twitter,
Right.
because Twitter can handle it. If you were doing 10 posts on Facebook, people would unfollow you so fast.
Okay.
But so you have to get to know the culture of each network, right? And
Right.
so on Twitter, you would do with 80-20, you're doing 10 tweets a day. 8 of them need to be about other people. And then 2, you can promote yourself. So when we're talking about promoting yourself, that means promoting a blog post, a product, a service, anything that has to do with you.
Right.
Yeah. So
I can dig that. Because it seems like a fair balance to where you're not coming off as spammy, if you will.
And I have to tell you though, Aunt, I know this. I've taught it. I do it for businesses that we have that our clients. And even so, when I started the Daily Q show on Blab, I was so excited about it. I was probably doing 20 tweets a day, and they were all about my show. And I
Yeah.
can't believe I didn't lose all my followers. Like, I was just so excited. I'm like, of course everybody wants to see who I have on. Why wouldn't they, you know? And it's like, oh, I'm embarrassed, but it happened, you know? So yeah, just make a course correction if you fall off that, you know, it's not a big deal.
Yeah, I personally do try to read what other people are posting or saying and whatnot, and I even try make a conscious effort to comment. You know, if I feel like I've sort of been disconnected
Yeah.
for a little while, I
Yeah.
try to go in and hit that like and plus and all of that stuff and comment here, there,
Perfect.
and whatnot. And I want to say it was Sunday. I posted on maybe it was Google Plus or all of them. But I said, you know what? I want to apologize up front if I'm coming off like a stalker because I'm going back and hitting like
Oh,
and stuff on the old stuff that people have
interesting.
posted.
Yeah.
You know, but the thing is I was trying to catch up. I was genuinely trying to catch up with the people that I follow and that I interact with. And I know that sometimes look creepy. Like, why is Aunt Pruitt liking something that was 3 days ago?
I
You know?
totally know what you mean. No, I totally know what you mean. Yeah. It's like you go
I,
into somebody's Facebook album and you're suddenly liking things from 7 years ago, and they're like, "Why are you looking at that?"
I'm going to try to do better, but this social media it's a lot of work when it comes to managing your content and promoting your content and trying to find that balance, you know. But again, that's why we have people like you with youbeingsocial.com to try to, you know, coach us up and get us in the right
Yeah, totally.
direction.
And for managing your own social media, it's important to know you don't have to be everywhere.
Right.
You just don't have to be. In fact, it's probably better if you're not. But if you're going to be somewhere, make sure you're there and make sure you're doing it correctly. So, and that you're active on there. So if you're going to have a Twitter account, make sure that you're regularly there, right?
Right.
You don't want to leave an inactive account. And here's why, especially for a business. Let's say you hear about a pizza place that your friend says is the best ever, and you're an aunt, you want to find this pizza place, and you hang out on Twitter. So you're going to go look for them first on Twitter. You find them, and what you see is they haven't tweeted for 4 months.
Right.
So
Done that.
yeah. So chances, I mean, so what did you do?
I didn't even bother to go eat there.
Exactly. Exactly, right?
Right.
But if there was no Twitter account, you probably would have gone and Googled them to find their website.
Yep. That's 100% on.
And so it's the hardest thing ever to go deactivate your accounts or cancel them or whatever. It's so hard because you want to save it because of all the work you've done, but either get active on it or delete it.
Okay. Hey, that's fair enough.
Yeah.
Sweet. Well, I'm not going to hold you much longer here. I do feel a lot better
Cool.
picking your brain and trying to figure things out here. But, you know, like I said, my biggest concern was just the fact that it's called social media and it just doesn't seem really social anymore. But that's because a lot of people are failing to find that good old balance that you talked about. And that
Right.
makes a lot of sense to me now.
And, we can turn it around because I remember the good old days of Twitter where it was just so fun and so engaging. And but people are still out there who do want to engage. So it's just finding those people, replying to them, and yeah. So
Now, go ahead.
Well, you hang out on Google Plus way more than I do. Is it still social in the communities?
It is very social. I'm a member of, dang, I don't even know how many communities I'm a member of, but all of the communities are very interactive. But just even my own just regular profile page or whatever, my stream, it's highly interactive. I can say something totally off the wall on there and I'll get comments left and right. I do the same on Twitter. I get zilch.
Yeah.
And I've looked at that. I've played a few scientific experiments with myself there and just trying to see where was the engagement coming from. And I feel bad because I have a lot of people that I love dearly over on Twitter, but the engagement has totally dropped down and it sucks. It really sucks, but I just go where the engagement is because being an introvert, number one, is really, really hard to force myself upon people and be in these conversations, but I'm working at it. So.
Right.
I use Google Plus because I find that there are a ton of introverts over there just like me, you know.
Oh, interesting.
Mhm.
Ooh, I've never thought about that. So, okay, so maybe Twitter has a lot more extroverts. I don't know.
It definitely comes off that way. When I go through my Twitter stream of people that I follow, and these
Yeah.
are from all walks of life, all different professions and so forth, and services and whatnot, and it just seems like a sounding board. It really does. It just seems like a sounding board for people. They'll tweet something out, and they really don't want you to say anything back. In some instances, it's just this is what I'm saying, and period. You know, and then there's every now and then I'll see people that they're marketing their content and whatnot, and if you happen to reply, you get one of those automatic DMs or
Mhm.
something, and I'm like, what? And
And
I
those
can
aren't,
see that it's automatic too,
yeah, and believe me, those aren't best practices. Like nobody who works in social media says, you should do an automatic DM. That's going to work. Like
Right.
it doesn't work. Nobody likes it.
I see that. And then there was one person in particular, I won't call them out, but I came across them recently on a Blab thing that I was watching one day, and I said, "Oh, okay. Well, let me just follow them on Twitter too, because what they're saying here on Blab seems to resonate with me."
Right.
So I followed them on Twitter as well, and immediately got the DM, and I just blew it off. But then I went a couple of days later and just went and looked at their Twitter page in particular. I didn't look at anybody else, and
Right.
their whole Twitter stream was a reply to people. Hey, thanks for the follow. Thanks for the follow. Thanks for the follow. That was it. It almost looked like they were a robot. When I
Right.
know they're not a robot because I saw them on Blab talking
Interesting.
on
Yeah.
camera.
Interesting. Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't know what to think of that. Is it just that whole, if you're going to be on a platform, be on a platform? Is it just that
I think
fear?
so. I think so. I really think so. I think if you're going to be there, and I don't know. It's just my opinion. And I'm not perfect at it by any means. I'm good for my clients, but for my own personal stuff, I'm not perfect at it.
Sweet. Well, I think you do pretty damn good. And I'm hoping everybody watching this video will be able to look you up on ubnsocial.com and follow you over on blab.im and over on Twitter as well, right?
Yeah, Twitter at Jenny Q, Periscope at Jenny Q. And I also have a new website for the show called thedailyqshow.com.
Oh, you got to, okay, nice.
Yeah. And so what I have there for free, if people are interested in live streaming, I have a free download with my top tips. It's an 8-page PDF, just the things that I've learned with live streaming already. And there's some Blab stuff and Periscope stuff, because those are the live streaming apps I use. So
sounds like something I need to go read.
Go grab it. I mean, here's the thing. It's free. And even if you get one thing out of it that helps you,
yep,
it's a win, right?
It does.
Yeah.
I can dig that. Well, I'll definitely be sure to link to all of that here in this in my commentary.
Oh, cool.
So people can find that for you. I appreciate your time, Miss Jenny Q.
Oh, you know what? Thank you so much for asking me. And I appreciate you. You are awesome. It has been so great to get to know you better through the live streaming stuff. And so it's awesome. You're not just a name behind a profile anymore.
Not anymore. Not anymore.
Cool. And I bet one day we'll meet in real life too.
I do want to come to Boise one day.
Okay, cool.
I have a client that's out there, and I've been itching to go out there and visit them. I just haven't nailed it down just yet. So
okay, well,
the second I do, you're going to be the first
person. I'll show you around the city. It'll take an hour.
Whatever.
But it's beautiful.
Yeah, according to your pages, it's always pretty scenery.
Yeah, no, it's beautiful.
All right, folks. Well, thank you to everyone that's been watching. Be sure to click the like and the subscribe option so you can get this content automatically. And be sure to hit the little share button so other people can check out this content and maybe be like me and learn a little thing or two here from Miss Jennifer Quinn. Until next time, this is Aunt Pruitt, and we'll catch y'all later. Peace.